Graduates and guests, may we have your attention, please? Convocation is about to begin. If you have a mobile device or pager with you, please turn it off or silence it during the ceremony. Thank you for your attention and congratulations. If able, please rise.
Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. We're also grateful to have the opportunity to celebrate the achievements of our scholars who graduate today. On their behalf, let us express gratitude for the support of their families and friends and the faculty and staff who have guided them in their pursuit of knowledge. Whatever our own traditions, let us reflect as we proceed through the convocation ceremony on the many years of effort, sacrifice, and success that have brought us to this time of celebration. In concilium universitates torontonensis vocati sumus. Graduates, please remain standing. All guests, please be seated.
Insignissima Cancelaria. Presento tibi hosce scholares ut adbitantur ad gradus varios. Testorque eos, quo ad omnia quae statuta requirunt aptos et idoneus essa.
Et profectum huies provinciae, huies qua magnae patriae, et profectum omnium nationum, omnibus interis conjunctarum. Augo ex acuturitate mihi atoti, universitate commissar. Et mitto vos eguedos verios, quarum ura vubis do, et petoco qua ut omnia confictiatas munera qua hedilos gradus pertinent.
Please be seated. My name is Ian Orchard, and it is my great privilege to serve the University of Toronto as Acting Vice President and Principal of the University of Toronto, Mississauga. Today, I have the additional privilege of assisting Chancellor Rose Patten in conducting this convocation. The university is an institution with deep historical roots and many enduring traditions. Among those is our use of the language of the medieval university in today's wonderful celebration. For those in attendance who, like me, are less than fluent in Latin, a translation may be helpful. For my part, I said, "Most distinguished Chancellor, I present to you these scholars that they may be admitted to the various degrees, and I bear witness that as far as all things which the statutes require, they are fit and suitable." Much more significantly, from the standpoint of the graduating class, the Chancellor then replied, "To the benefit of this province, this great country, and to the worldwide community of nations, I, by the authority vested in me and in the whole university, admit you to your various degrees, grant to you the rights, and ask of you the responsibilities of doing all those things which pertain to those degrees." And so, as my first order of business, I'm delighted to salute you, the graduating class of 2024 from the University of Toronto, Mississauga. That's it, you've received your degrees. Well done, congratulations. I would also like to bid a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us here in historic Convocation Hall. Graduates, today the University of Toronto is formally recognizing your hard work, your accomplishments, your perseverance, and this milestone. Speaking of perseverance, you have successfully completed your program in extraordinary and challenging times, and today's celebration is all the more meaningful for it. Each of you, as a member of the graduating class, is joining an exceptional family of University of Toronto alumni. U of T has a global community of over 680,000 alumni in 196 countries. They are the university's living legacy and our greatest ambassadors. U of T alumni serve in leadership roles in every corner of the globe and in every walk of life. They are prime ministers, justices, scholars, authors, community and business leaders, scientists and professionals of every description. Their endeavors have shaped the world we live in and the way we understand that world. We have no doubt that the University of Toronto's high international standing can be attributed to generations of dedicated and very talented faculty and staff members. But we also understand that this reputation has been built by our alumni, a group that now includes each and every one of you. So to the graduating class, let me say thank you. Thank you for your many contributions to the university while you were a student, and thank you for what you will do as members of Canada's largest and, I believe, most distinguished alumni community. One more word of thanks is in order. I'm sure all graduates share a sense of gratitude to the friends and family members who have helped bring them to this special day. And I would ask you to join me and the platform party in thanking them with a vigorous round of applause. Let me continue with a request. One of the distinguishing features of our convocation is that graduates come forward to be recognized. You will then leave the stage using the ramp on the right over here, exit out the door and around the hall. At that point, you will turn left and quietly re-enter the hall as your peers continue to be recognized individually. I encourage you to think of the very last person to be on stage. I believe it will be Sarah Khosravi Fard. Sarah there? Could Sarah stand up? Everyone, please remember your classmate and return to your seat so you can celebrate her graduation. Finally, respecting our ongoing commitment to health and safety, we will forego the traditional handshake. But we promise to applaud enthusiastically as you pass across the stage. Thank you for your understanding and assistance, and once more, warmest congratulations. Before we continue, I would like to recognize that this is a challenging time for many of our community. We acknowledge the pain and suffering felt by those impacted by the conflict in the Middle East. And yet, today's ceremony is a time for celebration and a time for hope. Convocation Hall is the place where our graduates have the opportunity to mark this wonderful milestone with loved ones. With that in mind, I would respectfully ask everyone here today to allow our graduating students to have their moment to cross the stage without disruption or interruption. Thank you. It is now my privilege to introduce today's convocation speaker, Judith Andersen. Dr. Andersen is a professor in UTM's Department of Psychology and the director of the Health, Adaptation, Research on Trauma, HEART, lab at UTM. Her current work investigates tangible ways to prevent health risk and promote resilience in the face of diversity. Professor Andersen is a member of the Royal Society of Canada's Working Group on Mental Health and Policing and a recipient of Shirk's Insight Development Award for outstanding contributions to research. Please welcome Judith Andersen to the podium.
Reset, refocus, respond. Graduation from the University of Toronto is a momentous occasion. So momentous, in fact, that when I was asked to speak at Convocation, I felt a bit stressed. My first thought was, I wonder if AI could write me a good graduation speech. What could go wrong? But seriously, I am a health psychologist with research expertise in the psychophysiology of stress. In short, I study how stress can interfere with performance and health. I'm sure many of you are experts in this topic as well, having just finished all those years in university. The good news is that there are amazing research developments showing many ways to reduce stress. Did you know that positive, short-term, in-person social interactions, or immersing yourself in nature, experiencing uplifting emotions such as awe, and hanging out with pets can reduce stress chemicals in your body and even boost your immune system over the long term? Now you have a science-backed reason to get that dog you've always wanted. But when thinking about what to convey to you in the last academic message from U of T, I kept returning to the purpose and fundamentals of education. When I was going through school, the fundamentals of a good education were called the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Clearly, spelling was not one of the 3 R's. By graduating from the prestigious University of Toronto, you've already gone far beyond mastering these 3 R's. I have no doubt that you will be able to apply your learned skills in novel, exciting, and creative ways to change the world for the better. However, I propose that there are another 3 fundamental R's that will serve you well in your post-grad world of adulting. That glorious reality of being responsible during mostly mundane tasks. But as you know, life is not all predictable. Rather, monotony is punctuated by periods of sheer excitement and sometimes serious stress. like that pivotal job interview, or what you say when you're asking out your dream date, or the decision to move somewhere for a job or family. The decisions you make in these moments could change the course of your life forever. What I've learned in nearly 2 decades of conducting research on interventions with crisis management workers is that the past is behind us and the future has not yet come. What we can change is in the moment. So how do we shape our moments for success? We apply 3 new fundamental R's: reset, refocus, respond. So how does this work? First, we start with a reset breath. When you are excited or stressed, the physiological activation, like adrenaline pumping through your veins or your heart just beating out of your chest, it can make it hard to think clearly. And it doesn't just work for you to say, "Heart, stop beating as fast." "Adrenaline, stop coursing through my veins as fast," does it? What you need is a physical override to reduce that physiological activation and regain control of your thinking skills and your emotions. Clinical science shows that even one deep breath with prolonged exhalation through pursed lips can signal you to regain control of your thoughts, emotions, and physical reactivity, helping you to feel more calm and think more clearly. This reset breath provides us with a few seconds to move on to the second R, refocus. First responders face multiple demands in a short window of time, and in life, it's likely that you will too. What works even for the most complex and stressful situations is to take those few seconds of clear thinking after doing the reset breath and refocus on the win. WIN is an acronym for what's important now. For example, let's say somebody cuts you off in traffic and you're rushing to get somewhere important. Your emotions may get high and you might feel like doing something risky. Take a reset breath, shift your attention to what's important now. In this case, it's getting to your destination safely. That brings us to the final R, respond. Now that you've shifted your attention to what's important, you can immediately respond appropriately to meet the demands of the situation. Whatever you're facing, you now have a tangible technique to get you refocused on the win. Although reset, refocus, respond seems simple, it's not intuitive. You have to practice it, just like reading, writing, and arithmetic. Why? Because when we as humans get caught up in stress and emotion, our physical state actually changes, and that can influence our decisions, sometimes in ways that do not serve us or others very well. Remember, collectively we are strong. We win when we focus on our common humanity. Our research has shown that the reset, refocus, respond technique helps first responders perform effectively even in the most intense and complex situations. The good news is that it can work for the rest of us as well. In fact, you might want to practice it when you come up here to get your diploma in a few minutes. Reset, refocus, respond enhances the 3 fundamentals of education that you just mastered at U of T. Now you are triple R squared prepared to win at life. Give yourself a hand.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates from the University of Toronto, Mississauga, who are being admitted to the degree of Honours Bachelor of Arts. Maria Abbasi. Robin Rita Aboud. Maria Abdallah. Omar Mohammed Abdel Fattah. Habiba Mahmoud Abdelwala. Khalid Abdi. Hibo Abirahman. Sarah Abdo. Ahmed Abdullah. Muhammad Abdullah. Jasmine Mohammed Adan. Justine Adesina. Muhammad Ali Wakar Afzal. Andeshe Aga. Mariam Agag. Simon Joseph Aguinaldo. Sana Ahmad. Malaika Ahmar. Mamshad Ahmed. Fatima Zahra Asan. Riman Rajput Aijaz. Victoria Feyisola Akinwolemiwa. Maya Ak. Darina Al Arud. Mohammed Tebu Al Hassan. Dania Ali. Aisha Ali. Zahra Ali. Majid Baran Al-Kandamir. Liam Ryan Alicock. Narisa Dennis Almeida. Vanessa Almeida. Salah Al-Qadi. Mukbil Al-Sarati. May Ahmed Leith Al-Saeed. Sidra Altaba. Danish Alvi. Sidra Al-Zahabi. Alexandra Ofi Amaduri. Yu Ting An. Sean Pihu Anund. Kensho Ando Heng. Lindsay Elizabeth Anaton. Suchin Bradley Anthony. Abby Elenia Apostolidis. Jessica Lynn Archibald. Tala Arnaut. Suhansi Aruna Ante, excuse me. Zair Fatima Aslam. Rakan Jean Atik. Ali Ayaz. Taha Muhammad Azim. Stacy Holly Baganza. Rohit Bahal. Siba Ball. Sarah Samin Bajwa. Ala Bakhtash. Aya Bakhtash. Simran Kaur Ball. Avery Jerome Valencio. Shane Michael Ballestrin. Arshpreet Banger. Miriam Bangora. Justine Alicia Fassi. Kent Arnes Bautista. Vanaya Mohsen Beg. Amanda Bainam. Rachel Bello. Sarah Bennett. Anushrod Bharadwaj. Arnav Bardwaj. Catherine Carly Bignell. Jasmine Bitu. Tia Angela Botch. William Walter Baumhoff. Isabel Boris. Miriam Manhal Botris. Molly Jane Bowman. Miles Harrison Brady. Ehege David Brema. Amanda Frances Dorothy Bramwell. Gabriella Beatrice Brandt. Taran Singh Bar. Alex Brissendine. Deborah Tawia Brown. Hannah Isabella Rose Brown. Carly Caitlin Brownell. Daniela Claire Bruno. Carmelina Teresa Buda. Shema Hatum Bulut. Betiana Tanik Burchell. Rupinder Buttar. Gani Rio Cabezas. Anthony Giuseppe Pio Caggianello. Yifan Tsai. Ritik Singh Cambo. Angela Jean Campbell. Pedro Henrique Campos de Andrade. Julian Pisani Canavan. Yixuan Cao. Yufeng Cao. Trisha Karen Chambers. Justin Chan. Irene Chang. Elena Chowdhury. Ali Sher Mohammed Chowdhury. Alexander Chen. Junliang Chen. Lida Chen. Michelle Chen. Siyu Chen. Xie Yuan Chen. Xin Chen. Yanqiao Chen. Yu Ying Chen. Crystal Guo Cheng. Bernice Cheng. Jalea Chen. Hoi Ying Emma Chiu. Amanpreet Chankrian. Ata Unor Chowdhury. Ting Wei Chuang. Jaden Joseph Ciancio. Samantha Coffey. Keenan Calvin Cromwell. Morley Allison Cromwell. Maria Daniela Torres Cruz. Sebastian Quavo Lawrence. Zixuan Cui. Hannah Margaret Curry. Molly Patricia Cusacks. Emilia Dabrowski. Trinity Dorothy Rose Damota Longo. Alexis Dong. David Hui Dong. Tao Duan Dong. Rihan Darwish. Diego de la Parra. Roger Dudley Stephen de Leon. Nicole Volante de Matos. Sabrina DeSantis. Rachel Alexandra Day. Uday Raj Jingra. Michaela Marie DeChico. Christina Marie De Diano. Sabrina Tiamo Di Gattiano. Lin Ding. Siying Ding. Nikola Jonovich. Yixuan Dong. Xiaohan Do. Blake David Douglas. Fei Yang Du. Jingyi Du. Xinyi Du. Victoria Gail Dykeman. Robert Charles Forbes Igar. Roheen Abadi. Kaylee Elizabeth Wood Edmonds. Noor Mohammed El Baradi. Dina Elbaz. Basim Akram El-Dabasi. Talia El-Said. Dinali Parakni Amparuchi. Michelle Fahim. Dylan James Falconer. Jose Luis Fala. Joseph Nazarino Falzata. Xing Yu Fan. Jia Fan. Jiaying Fan. Yuhan Fan. Yuwen Fan. Minahil Farouk. Jennifer Fatore. Maya Hani Anis Falzi. Han Jian Fei. Xuan Fei. Sasha Yvette Fell. Christine Feng. Jiarong Feng. Amna Feroz. Brandon Matthew Fiocco. Yasmin Rami Flahat. Reed Alec Fournier.
Tomaris, France. Megan Courtney Friedman. Kylie Isabella Frendo. Rachel Fuentes. Daniela Julia Furtado. Rosana Andrea Gamboa Salas. Sumaya Gamute. Hao Gao. Sofia Garcia Garcia. Anshul Arya Gaudo. Dia Gower. Ankit Gautam. Muhammad Ibrahim Ghani. Nura An Gonayam. Arshnur Kaur Gill. Lovepreet Kaur Gill. Dia Jerke. Renata Jerke. Mia Glucevic. Ivana Mariel Gochez Rivera. Tracy Gomez. Andrea Maria Gonçalves. Sophie Gudarzi. Allison Michelle Graham. Kira Kaur Graywall. Renisha Simon Griffith. Ye Gu. Anastasia Gisius. Casimir Guawardana. Mingwen Michael Guo. Nianhui Guo. Silun Guo. Ashwarya Gupta. Saisha Gupta. Kayla Evelyn Guthrie. Kon Chon Guven. Makadas Hakimi. Kareem Haytham Halabi. Sahar Hamdan. Bilal Hamid. Swad Yusuf Hamid. Maryam Ali Hamoud. Roy Tian Han. Ri Han. Xian Wu Han. Faiza Noor Haq. Motahina Haq. Wasifa Shaushiti Haq. Maxence Haquian. Yasmin Harb. Karisa Hariprasad. Chloe Ann Hasbani. Sumaya Hashmi. Salma Hatahe. Arman Hayer. Riley Cole Haga. Ian Eun Hyo. Naileen Hibbert. Samantha Isabel Hildebrand. Adel Rohan Hilowala. Victoria Wing Lam Ho. Rhiannon May Matthews Hoffman. Ryan Thomas Holford. Mishak Joshua Homer. David Xing Chi Hong. Simran Hoti. Xiao En Hu. Yang Hu. Han Xuan Huang. Le Yan Huang. 申怡黄，一期黄，一庭黄，玉切黄，玉恒黄，玉期黄，玉神黄，贞洁黄，Jada Afua Houghton, Bryce Thomas James Hall, Tzu Ying Hung, Yuri Hoot, Michelle Gutierrez, Madison Page, Ireland. Miriam Ismail. Kevin Iamabo. Kayla Jackson. Anusha Jain. Vanessa Sita Japersad. Tasmia Jamil. Ibadat Jerg. Amashu Jansal. Xinyu Ji. Junhua Jiang. Qianwei Jiang. Ziqi Jiang. Jiuhui Jing. Zihan Jing. Chris Graham Moses Johnson. Aliyah David Johnson. Tyshell Savannah Johnson. Soraya Daniela Joven. Junwei Ju. Simran Kalon. Karina Kailas. Gurshan Kaur Karler. Raya Kalhan. Trevor Paul Kalicharan. Abigail Kamalova. Jaskarin Kendola. Malik John Kassam. Jasleen Kaur. Siraj Kaur. Brian Kyung. Farida Khalil. Sabil Abdul Khalik. Ashar Khan. Fariha Khan. Mahnur Khan. Malaika Khan. Warda Khan. Jasni Kar Kora. Mackenzie Ann Kieswetter. Moon Seon Kim. Taehyun Kim. Marissa Klassen. Serena Kunezvich. Jamira Knight. Oluwaseye Okonula Kola Olusanya. Sylvia Kolev. Mayu Kondo. Joanna Konopka. Karen Kosugi. Adam Jacob Kula. Chachi Kuo. Anjali Kupchand. Matthew Justin Lackey. Lydia Lai. Virgil Enrique Lalik. Che Ying Cordelia Lam. Ya Ling Lan. Filomena Andromaki Lacione. Yujun Lao. Adriana Marie La Rosa. Sophia Victoria Leal. Mingho Lee. Julia Lee. Jacob Edward Lemire. Charmaine Leung. Chun Ying Ryan Leung. Daryl Leung. Ryan James Roger Lewis. Rihab Arif Paracha. Candidates from the University of Toronto, Mississauga, who are being admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Shana Pratika Anate. Gliselle Barrera. Supreet Bhatti. Jonathan Bonzo Kasango. Sarah Kosvari Fard.
On behalf of the University of Toronto, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby admit all those candidates not here present to their degrees in absentia.
As we conclude Convocation, I wish to thank all of you for your participation and your patience. To the families and friends and to those in the procession, let me say thank you. You have made this a more memorable event for each member of the graduating class. I'd like to thank Chancellor Rose Patton for presiding over today's ceremony. I wish to thank as well the many other colleagues and friends of the university who participated in this convocation, whose names you will find in the programme. This year, the University of Toronto is proud to introduce a new Indigenous ceremonial element to our convocation ceremony. You may have noticed that the eagle feather bearer leading the Chancellor's procession is wearing a beaded stole. This stole was created by artist Katie Longboat from Six Nations of the Grand River, who also created a beaded stem to hold the eagle feather. I now invite the Chancellor to bring today's ceremony to a close.
And now, as I bring this convocation ceremony to a close, on this, which is your special day, I hope we will see you often in the years to come. and I invite you to stay connected with us. We will be very interested in your journey, and we know you will have an impact in whatever path you choose. Concilium dimissum est.